Howdy, hey folks, this is Jesse here, and I got to work, and then immediately after getting to work this morning, I got hit with the news of there is a new Digimon TCG ban list, which is absolutely wild to me. As you can see, I have the Twitter, the Digimon TCG English Twitter pulled up. That is showing the announcement and giving us just a quick rundown. So nothing is actually banned, but we do have cards that are restricted to one once again, and this is going into effect on November 11th, which, if I remember correctly, is when EX3 drops. But just looking at the image here real quick, we can see that Calling from the Darkness, Sunrise Buster, Doru Greymon, and Shoutmon ×4 are being restricted to one. I do have the actual banned and restricted announcement page here, which you can see was updated today, October 28th. I am recording this late at night because I ended up relaxing a lot more after getting home from work today than I expected to. So this is probably going up on October 29th. But anyway, so let's just give this a quick little rundown of the effective on November 11th, 2022 cards. Like I said, these are all restricted. So starting off is the BT7 Calling from the Darkness card. This card, we're going to go over like Bandai's reasonings on why they decide to hit these cards. So, Calling from the Darkness. This card can delete a player's own Digimon and collect Digimon cards from a player's own trash for a low cost. As a result, it causes various endless loops and is supporting unintended playstyles. For this reason, we've decided to restrict this card to one copy per deck. Alright. Yeah, no, these are totally valid things to be saying about Calling from the Darkness. This card is strong. It's not going to affect things like Minerva Loop a lot because I've been seeing a lot of lists that just run one only. Even though I think that this card is absolutely crazy. So I know I personally, I am sad to see this go. But also at the same time, this is fine. This hit doesn't do as much as they'd probably like to think that it does, but it is still a very good hit and something that we saw coming. This is just going to be has been just a good generic purple card for the past few formats, and it was bound to happen eventually. And then of course Sunrise Buster. Their reasoning. This card has a powerful DP reducing effect, along with an effect that plays a tamer. Therefore, the output of this card's effects is greater than intended in some decks. For this reason, we've decided to restrict it. Yeah, no, Sunrise Buster is an insane card with decks like Cross Hearts that can just easily take advantage of it because you just naturally play red and yellow tamers in that deck. And you can even play things like BT9 Tai and Kari to enable Sunrise Buster earlier than intended. This is a crazy card. This hit, honestly, I feel like should have happened during the prior ban list. But that this ban list just came out of nowhere. There was no announcement about it. I don't think anybody was expecting this. And oddly enough, this ban list goes into effect sooner for the English format than it does for the Japanese format. I believe the Japanese format gets these other three hits December 1st, while we get the all four of these hits on November 11th, which is just under 2 weeks away, which is wow. And then the third card, Doru Greymon. Now this hit we knew was coming eventually, and honestly I think the fact that we hadn't gotten this hit yet is what expedited this list, like this entire list, a little quicker than we would have originally seen it. Because from how it feels to me, is Bandai didn't want to update the English ban list with just one card after the Japanese ban list had Doru Greymon on it in comparison to had Doru Greymon and also Jet Sylphie and Tommy on it in comparison to our original version of that list, which was just Jet Sylphie and Tommy for the English format. We didn't have Doru Grey on that list, and now we have it on this list. So this was just bound to happen. We knew this hit was coming. But the fact that I am almost 100% sure that, I won't say that, even though I just did. But the fact that we didn't have this hit just yet, I feel like is what caused this list to happen, and why we're seeing the next hit. But let's go over Bandai's reasoning real quick. As a Digimon card with X antibody and its traits, multiple copies can easily be placed as the bottom Digivolution card of a Digimon by other card effect to gain security attack +1. Furthermore, when digivolving, it has a powerful defensive effect that prevents other Digimon from deleting it or reducing its DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. To adjust the game balance, we have decided to restrict this card. Like I said, this was a hit that we knew was coming, and it is a card that really, really does deserve to be hit. But like I said, the reason why this list even exists is because of this Doru Greymon, in my opinion, for reasons that I will showcase here in a second. And then the final hit for us, Shoutmon Cross 4 times 4, however you want to say it. I don't know about you, but North America just got BT9 not even 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and all the other English format countries got BT9 2 weeks ago. So the fact that we are already seeing a hit to Crossheart in the English format and not until after BT11 has started, the fact that Savior Huckmon and Eismon got released and then were, said that, hey, you get to play with this up until, like, I believe it was BT8 pre-release. That is absolutely crazy to me that this card is just straight up not even getting that treatment. It is so new, and I am glad I didn't actually finish pick up the rest of the Crossheart stuff that I needed. Oh my, I feel sorry for everyone who bought into this set with the intentions of Crossheart is going to be the main deck that I play this format because it's the best deck. Even though Crossheart hasn't even gotten a major top yet, according to my knowledge. I may be totally wrong here, but from what I know, Crossheart hasn't even had a major top when things like Blue Flare and Minervamon have. That's wowzers. Bandai's reasoning for this is, due to its effect that allows the reuse of cards required for an end of attack Digicross, this card can be used for a string of repeated attacks at a low cost, just by having multiple copies in the player's hand. Its on-play effect also gives it a stronger than intended advantage to Crossheart decks by increasing the number of cards in a player's hand. To adjust the game balance, we decided to restrict it, which is totally fair, totally fine. This was a hit that needed to happen. These hits are really good, but they came too soon, I feel, especially with Cross 4 at the very least. I don't think that hit needed to come just yet. I do believe it could have waited until BT11. And my oh my, is the English format for BT10 going to be vastly different from Japan's BT10 format. Not only because Yellow Hybrid is dead here already, but because Crosshearts is effectively dead. Now, we're going to go over like what a standard Crosshearts list looks like prior to this ban list and what it may look like after. But real quick, like I said, the list goes into effect on November 11th. I've said it a million times already this video. And that is the release date of Draconic Roar, the EX3 set, our third extra set. So November 11th, you better get those cross 4s out of my sight. But again, that is just, oh my. And real quick, just to show you kind of what I mean of why I think Doru Greymon is the reason that this list got expedited to how fast it is here now, is here is a DC1 tournament from Latin America, and here is the top 4 decks from it. So first place went to Black Alphamon deck, BT10, all that good stuff. Is not playing like a single BT10 card in here. Second place goes to Alpha. Is technically playing a BT10 card, kind of is a starter deck card in Shikurimon. And I actually like this list. It has a spicy Black War Gray tech, and I thoroughly enjoy that. But that is wild. The third place went to a Gaiomon deck. Again, no BT10 cards, which is fine. That's whatever. And fourth place went to Alpha. I think because top 4 for this event was three of them being Alpha, is something that really made Bandai look and think, that Doru Gray hit in Japan did a lot. Maybe we should actually bring that to the English format, but you know, it'd be like a waste of a list. So let's we got other bands that we were planning on doing. Let's just do them now. And so, like I said, I feel like they just came too early. And yeah, here's kind of what I alluded to earlier in Blue Flare already having 2 tops. And also Minerva having a top. But let's go over what Crossheart kind of looked like beforehand. Here's just the simple rundown. You know, you're like 4 of every Crossheart and your times 4s and whatnot. You're playing at least 3 times 5s. You're playing a King version if you're feeling spicy. 4 of all your tamers. If you want a Tainkari, at least a couple of Sunrise Busters, if not more. Probably look a little bit more like that. Hero of the Skies, just for some OTK potential with times 5, and Fireball to pop stuff or draw. And, Hero of the Skies gets you draws as well. You either played Kiriha or BT1 tie. BT1 tie is definitely the stronger option, but also a very risky option. And, Sunrise Buster and all that. And, yeah. This is kind of what a generic Crossheart list looked like prior to the hit. And here's what I'm seeing will possibly be what a lot of people go for after the hit. Is instead of having, you lost the times 4s, so you can't exactly play them, is I've been hearing from a lot of people and seeing a lot of things about King version becoming one of your main dudes, because you can just recur King versions with King versions, and you got a little bit of a loop going on there, but kind of not really. People are going and flocking towards King version with the cross 4 hit, and only 1 Sunrise Buster, so it really takes some wind out of Crossheart's sails. But this is still going to be a deck that can play and still very well compete. Don't forget that. But seriously, losing 3 copies of Cross 4 is very, very rough for the deck. And with what was going to be considered the best deck, or one of the best decks that we thought going into this format, of Crosshearts being gone, I genuinely genuinely believe that Blue Flare is going to be the best deck this format now. While it will not be like just the solely 100% benefactor of like this is best deck, this is quite frankly going to be one of the best decks that we'll be seeing. It will have other things like Minervamon or like Bloom Lord or even past formats. Black War Greymon still going to be running around with Gaiomon and all that. We'll still probably see some variants of X Antibody, and D Brigade. And D Brigade is going to also very much be a big threat. It honestly at this point is possibly the best deck, especially after going into the EX3 format. D Brigade is going to be a strong deck and is going to be wild. But I'm just going to, showcase real quick a brief little sample of what a Blue Flare deck will probably most likely be looking like as a simple basis. Upamons, Kiaramons, all your Blue Flare stuff. I've seen a lot of people be running Jellymon, which I think makes sense since you're wanting to play your Kirihas and all that. All your Blue Flare stuff. Your one Lobo because space is a little tight, but you run a lot of Tamers, so you might as well run a Lobo. I've seen a lot of people taking in ST1 Greymon because it does fulfill the requirements in Metal Greymon's Digicross, because hey, that's a Greymon, so's that, but that's a Greymon, and that gives you security attack +1. We see that. We see Cyberdramon, Decker Grey, a couple of Death X, because Death X is just an insane card. And our Blazing Memory Boost, some options. This is a decent tech for some lists, and then a lot of Tamers. But this is just a general rundown of what a Blue Flare deck is more than likely going to be based around for the most part, with some changes here and there for the format. So this is a deck to look out for. Like I said, this is more than likely, but always take it with a grain of salt, but more than likely going to be the best deck in the format. But hey, that's my quick ramble. I can't even say quick. That's my ramble about the ban list that we just got for the Digimon TCG. If y'all have any thoughts, please leave a comment, let me know, or something like that. But I digress. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.